The first NTSB report is out on the tragic mid-air collision between a plane and a helicopter in Chandler, which left 2 people dead earlier this month. The report gives a little more detail on what led up to that crash, but does not explain everything that happened that day. Spencer Blake is in our newsroom tonight with some perspective from experienced pilots on this. Spencer?
So, Jared, the full report on this and on any plane crash will likely take a year or so, but at least we can see a little bit of what was going on in the air before tragedy struck.
Exactly how did a small Piper airplane and a helicopter collide just outside the Chandler airport on October 1st?
That's something we're all asking, very honestly.
Both the student pilot and the flight instructor on the helicopter died in the fiery crash. James Tim, a pilot of almost 70 years, looked over the newly released 3-page report from the NTSB. He says it's not uncommon for student pilots to do touch-and-go landings and takeoffs in a rectangular pattern around an airport. The plane, represented by the blue ribbon, had clearance to land when the instructor on board declared an emergency, thinking they had hit some birds.
The accident helicopter was probably under the wing of the Piper and he couldn't see it.
Sean Wall with Arizona Flight Training Center says radio communication will be key to finding out what happened.
Did the air traffic controllers call out that there was traffic that was there? Did the pilots say they had traffic in sight? Did they understand their instructions?
The report says both pilots were in contact with air traffic control. We listened to the radio recordings. But the audio is indiscernible.
I think it would be safe to say is that there was a misunderstanding into where the traffic was and whether the traffic was either reported out.
Wall says helicopters can be very hard to spot from a distance because they're so small. Neither Wall nor Tim thinks blame should be put on any one person.
It's a cruel fact of fate that brought them together. How do you put that in a technical report?
Both the plane and the wreckage from the helicopter have been recovered, and they're going to be in secure storage so they can be examined over the course of this investigation. Live in the newsroom, Spencer Blake for Arizona's Family.